I had a bottle of water up here. Curry didn't, I guess.
Come on, Curry.
I guess.
That's my water. I'm slacking. Still preseason.
It's still preseason. It's exhibition.
You better bring this one.
Hey, if we play this well Tuesday, I might have a lot of water. I might jump in.
We got head coach Greg Collins, and we'll open it straight into questions for you guys.
You mentioned it right there, just playing this well. Did you get out of time what you wanted to?
Yes. Overall, I told them to play hard. And, the most important thing wasn't who we were playing, it was how we were playing. And so we wanted to make sure we were playing together, playing hard, pushing the tempo as often as we had those opportunities. And fortunately tonight, we had a lot of those opportunities. We got out and ran, and so that's something we've worked on. And I felt like we shared the ball well. And there was a variety of people that were able to hit some open shots, and there's areas that we've got to improve on, but I felt like we got a little bit out of tonight. We'll grow as we continue to play a lot tougher schedule that we're heading into next Tuesday, but that's the key. That's what I mentioned earlier. This isn't NASCAR. It's not the Daytona 500 coming up. This is NCAA basketball, and March isn't here yet. So as long as we continue to grow and get better together and as a team, we'll be okay in March.
Is the goal to play that fast all the time?
Whenever we can. I'd rather shoot 2-on-1 or 1-on-0 than 5-on-5. So it doesn't. I don't anticipate that we'll have that high of a success rate with our defense against Louisville, Oklahoma, Iowa, those teams. But I feel like if we continue to work at it, we'll get better and we'll get stronger, and that'll still be a part of our game. That we may not rely on it game in, game out, but that'll be something that we'll look to do when it's appropriate for the matchup.
Was forcing turnovers a major focal point, or was that just a product of the up-tempo play?
I think it was just a product. It's just it's not unlike how we practice every day. There was nothing that we did tonight that you wouldn't see every day in practice. And so I think we probably caught West Virginia State a little bit by surprise on some of the traps, but some of that was something we've worked very hard on, making sure we're making the right reads and making the right reactions to when we make those reads. And overall, they did a good job with that. So.
Another time today we talked about in order to fill the void left by Ivan Tate, you kind of need the whole team because you get 5 players in double figures tonight. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're going to need to continue to see moving forward?
Exactly. I think that I keep saying the strength of the team is the team, and Alexis Brewer played well, but she's got a whole lot more left in her tank. And so Dee Gibbons had 27, I think, in 20 minutes. I was teasing her, said if you played the whole game, you had 54. And so maybe the next night, the point is maybe the next night it's not Dee Gibbons, maybe it's Alexis Brewer. And so that will be our strength, I believe, is we have a variety of kids. We have a lot of different kids that on any given moment, maybe not for the whole game. It might be just a quarter. It might be a stretch or a run where that young lady steps up and she's the one that gets us going, gets a run and separate, maybe closes a quarter out strong. And so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a strong team, and I think that will prove to be good for us as we head into conference play, and that's really what we're trying to build towards.
And speaking of Alexis and the other newcomers, how do you think they performed tonight in the first game?
I couldn't be happier, especially Merrill got off to a rocky start, and it might have been some nerves in there. Her first Division I game, first time she's played in the United States in front of a crowd, and she starts. And so she gets out there and has some turnovers, some unforced turnovers, missed some rotations on the defensive end. Came out and she was upset, and that was a good thing because she's a competitor and she wants to do well. And so when she got back in there, she made some big plays on her own. There were some things that she did that wasn't part of our defense. It was just her playing defense, just her creating a play on her own. And so that's what separates her from some other young ladies. And so we're going to continue to try to give her those opportunities and that freedom to make those plays, as well as the whole team. And then it's our job to back her up on the other end.
Was that the level of play from Dee Gibbons that you just like to see every night? You kind of talk about it in the offseason. Is that just kind of the level you want to have?
Dee's a very gifted athlete, a very smart young lady, a very talented basketball player, and over this summer, over the spring and the summer, she really became committed to trying to reach her potential. She's gotten stronger, faster. She's gotten more diligent in the gym, working on her shooting, her ball handling, which still needs work. but she's worked on it and it's improved. She's, I always tell the story about Dee in the past. Once a game, Dee would fly in and make a spectacular rebound. That's the good news. And the bad news is once a game, Dee would fly in and make a spectacular rebound. And we need her to do that more than once. And you saw tonight, she was the one guard that was consistently flying in there and trying to get an extra possession. So we expect Dee to play like that every night. And now there'll be some nights she'll draw a tougher matchup for her, and maybe she won't be able to do that. But that's where the team will come in. Maybe that'll be Whitney Creech's night, or maybe that'll be Alexis Brewer's night, or maybe that'll be Sherry Porter's night. So there'll be somebody else that'll step up.
When was the last time you saw 29 assists on a final stat sheet?
Yeah, I felt like Oregon State had 29 assists when we played them in the NCAA tournament. So honestly, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long time. I think even more than we stress assists and turnovers. We stress not to make turnovers. It might look like we stress to make them, but that's not the intent. It's improving. I promise you, it's improving from our scrimmage, and we chart them every day in practice, and we're getting better at that. I feel like I told the players at halftime we did a great job of getting out and running, but it wasn't so much the running. We did a great job of getting our head up and getting the ball down the floor, and I don't believe we had I know we did not have a turnover in transition in the entire first half. We had 4 or 5 walks, and we had some bad passes in half court, but we didn't have a turnover in transition, which was impressive, because a lot of times when you're playing like that, you're going to we made some in the second half to make up for it, but you're going to make some of those turnovers. So that was a highlight. Obviously the transition points is what we were focused on. So that's good. That's something we want to do all the time.
Players seemed like they were pretty conditioned tonight to come out here and play as quickly as they were. Were you also, I know you talk about, you see this all the time in practice, but to come out in a game against a team they don't know and play that well, are you pleased with just the conditioned aspect? They were able to go out there and execute, not really show any sort of fatigue?
I feel like we're going to play however we practice. And so as long as we're doing these things, there's some things that we do every single day. And you see those things in their play on the court. And we saw them, we scrimmage 5-on-5 every single day. And so I don't think that this is uncomfortable for them. It's familiar. And that's kind of how I've approached this, is that we're going to practice the way that we would like to play the game. And as we continue to grow, we'll add versatility in there. We'll do some different things. And right now, it's one step at a time. And this was the first thing that we wanted to kind of check off the box of things that we need to be able to do better. And I feel like right now, we've got a team that wants to get out and run. And that's a good thing.
Trey, for you, how did it feel when you first came to Central?
Comfortable. Enjoyable. I mean, I've enjoyed the past 6 years and had a great deal of input and decision making in what we've done in the past. So that wasn't unfamiliar. I think the thing I enjoyed the most was being able to help continue to coach the players and make those choices of whether to leave a young lady in. So that they can learn, and knowing that we're trying to grow towards a larger goal, and not necessarily that moment. And so it was okay if they made a mistake or 2 mistakes, or we took them out to teach them, and then we put them right back in. Some of those aspects of being in that position, that was a part I enjoyed. I liked, because I felt like I'm able to help the players continue to learn and grow.
What do you think of Rob will be able to come back in?
The sooner the better. I mean, she's a great young lady. She wants to play. She's very upset that she can't get out there right now. She changes our team. She's a very talented player, I think, and she's worked really hard this spring and the summer. So she's very discouraged, or not discouraged, disappointed that this is kind of flared up right now. And so she's improving. She's on the way back. I'm not sure when she'll be back, but progress is slow right now for her. But she's kept a real positive attitude here lately. We've talked to her about not focusing so much on what she can't do, and focus on what she can do. And what she can do is continue to get better, and better conditioning, better health each day, and to focus on helping her teammates. And so in practice, she helps Katie Searcy, she helps Raneem, and she helps Jaleesa, and she helps all those young ladies, and she watches on the bench and talks to them. So she's got another role, and I think that will help her when she comes back. I think she'll see the game in another light. So when she gets out there, and now this is really the first time she's not been able to play, and so she won't take it quite so for granted as she might have in the past.
You talked a little bit about making the decision to leave some players in longer or shorter than others. It seemed like Merrill, like you said, she started off a little slow, but then she played most of the second half when most of the starters didn't. So was that kind of a decision that you made to let her get some more experience?
Absolutely. I believe that she's not the first young lady. Raneem and Ram and Merrill are all great players. They're not the first international players I've coached. I've coached a handful of them, and they've all been great. But the one thing that's been in common, they have in common, is there's an adjustment period to playing American-style basketball, and so you can't learn that by watching. You've got to get out there and do it. You've got to make those mistakes. You've got to get disappointed. You've got to come to the bench and be mad, upset, crying, whatever it is, and you've got to get through that and get back out there, and you got to get past that, and then you get to the basketball player that you really are. And so she's not there yet, but this is her first game. This is the first time she's played in America, first time she's played in an arena in front of other people in this area, in this country. And so this was a big game for her, a big night for her. And so she'll learn, and I think by the end of the season, you're going to see one of the best freshmen in this conference.
Anything else, Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.